Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Diddy, love him or hate him, you know the name. This guy's story is the American dream hip-hop style. Born in Harlem, raised in Mount Vernon, Diddy's path wasn't paved in gold. Tragedy struck early when his father was murdered. This forced his mother to work multiple jobs to support the family. Diddy was a natural hustler, even as a kid. He had that drive, that ambition to be somebody. He started by delivering newspapers, then graduated to throwing parties while studying at Howard University. But Diddy was destined for bigger things. He landed an internship at Uptown Records, one of the hottest hip-hop labels at the time. Uptown is where Diddy learned the ropes, honed his skills. He climbed the ladder fast, becoming A&R director. He had a knack for spotting talent, nurturing artists. Jodeci, Mary J. Blige, he helped shape their careers. But Diddy had his own vision, his own dreams. After being let go from Uptown, Diddy could have walked away. Instead, he used his severance pay to start his own label. This was a defining moment. This was the birth of Bad Boy Records. Under Bad Boy, Diddy signed and produced some of the biggest names in hip-hop, the notorious Big, Faith Evans, and many more. He wasn't just a producer, he was a visionary. Diddy expanded his empire beyond music. He launched the Sean John clothing line, which became a massive success. He also ventured into the spirits industry with Ciroc vodka. His business acumen turned him into a mogul. Awards, accolades, and philanthropy followed. Through it all, he remained a family man. Reflecting on his journey, Diddy often speaks about the importance of hard work and resilience. He now mentors the next generation, passing on the lessons he's learned. From Harlem hustler to hip-hop mogul, Diddy's story is far from over. And as he continues to evolve, one thing is clear. Diddy is a force to be reckoned with. 1993, a year that would change the landscape of hip-hop forever. Bad Boy Records arrives on the scene, shaking up the industry with its bold vision and fresh talent. This wasn't just another label, it was a movement, a revolution that would redefine the genre. Diddy brought a new sound, a new energy to hip-hop. His charisma and business acumen were unmatched. It was flashy, it was aggressive, it was undeniably New York. The city that never sleeps had found its new anthem. Bad Boy's early roster was small but mighty. Each artist brought something unique to the table. The notorious Big, aka Biggie Smalls, was the flagship artist. Biggie was a revelation, a lyrical genius whose storytelling captivated audiences. His lyrical prowess, his storytelling ability, it was like nothing anyone had heard before. He painted vivid pictures with his words. Then there was Craig Mack, with his street anthems, his gritty rhymes. He brought a raw, unfiltered energy that resonated with the streets. Diddy wasn't afraid to take risks. He had a vision and he pursued it relentlessly. He pushed boundaries, challenged the status quo, and wasn't afraid to innovate. He embraced the sample-heavy, danceable beats that became Bad Boy's signature sound. It was a sound that made you want to move. MTV and radio couldn't get enough. Bad Boy was everywhere, dominating the airwaves and music video channels. The videos were lavish, the parties were legendary. They set a new standard for what it meant to be a hip-hop superstar. They were the hottest ticket in town. Everyone wanted to be part of the Bad Boy experience. Bad Boy wasn't just making music, they were creating a culture that influenced fashion, language, and lifestyle. It was a phenomenon that transcended music. Biggie Smalls. The name alone commands respect and admiration in the world of hip-hop. The name is synonymous with hip-hop royalty. His presence was larger than life, and his influence immeasurable. He was the heart and soul of Bad Boy Records, the label that redefined the sound of an era. Discovered by Diddy, Biggie's rise was meteoric. From the streets of Brooklyn to the top of the charts, his journey was nothing short of extraordinary. His debut album, Ready to Die, was a game-changer. It wasn't just an album, it was a statement, a declaration of his arrival. It was raw, it was honest, it was a reflection of life on the streets of Brooklyn. The struggles, the dreams, the reality, all captured in his powerful lyrics. Biggie's lyrics were poetic, his flow was effortless. He had a unique ability to turn his life experiences into compelling narratives. He could paint vivid pictures with his words, tell stories that resonated with millions. His music was a voice for the voiceless, a beacon of hope for many. He wasn't just rapping, he was speaking the truth. His authenticity set him apart in a genre often criticized for its lack of it. Juicy Big Poppa, One More Chance. These tracks became anthems. They weren't just songs, they were cultural milestones. One More Chance, these tracks became anthems. Biggie's success was unprecedented. His music transcended boundaries, reaching audiences far and wide. He became a cultural icon, his face plastered on magazines, his music blasting from every radio station. His influence was felt in every corner of the music industry. He was the undisputed king of New York. His reign was marked by a string of hits and a legacy that continues to inspire. But Biggie's reign was tragically cut short. His untimely death left a void in the world of hip-hop, but his legacy lives on through his music and the countless artists he inspired. The 90s, hip-hop was at a crossroads. East Coast versus West Coast. Bad Boy Records found themselves at the center of a heated rivalry. On one side, you had Biggie and Puff representing New York City. On the other side, Tupac Shakur and Death Row Records repping Los Angeles. It was more than just music. It was about pride, respect, and dominance. The media fueled the fire, sensationalizing every diss track, every public spat. The tension was palpable. It was a dangerous time to be in the hip-hop game. Section 5, The Day the Music Died, Biggie's assassination, March 9th, 1997, a date forever etched in hip-hop history, the notorious Big, gunned down in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles. He was only 24 years old. The world mourned the loss of a legend. Biggie's death sent shockwaves through the music industry. The hip-hop community was in mourning. Questions lingered. Who was responsible? Was it connected to the East Coast-West Coast feud? Conspiracy theories ran rampant. Biggie's murder remains unsolved to this day. Section 6. Beyond the beats, Diddy's empire expands. The loss of Biggie was devastating, but Diddy, ever the entrepreneur, knew the show must go on. He channeled his grief into his work, expanding Bad Boy's roster and diversifying his own portfolio. He launched Sean John, a clothing line that became a fashion powerhouse. He ventured into the restaurant industry, opening Justin's, a soul food restaurant named after his son. Diddy wasn't just a music mogul anymore. He was a brand, a symbol of success. He embraced his role as a mentor, nurturing the careers of artists like The Lox and Madonna E. As the 2000s rolled in, the music landscape began to shift. The reign of Bad Boy Records, while still relevant, wasn't as dominant. The sound of hip-hop was evolving. New artists, new labels emerged, challenging the established order. Bad Boy faced criticism for becoming too commercial, for prioritizing image over substance. Some argued that Diddy's focus on his own ventures took away from the label's musical direction. While Bad Boy continued to release music, it struggled to replicate the success of its early years. Despite the decline of Bad Boy's dominance, Diddy's impact on hip-hop is undeniable. He's a cultural icon, a trendsetter, a businessman who redefined what it means to be a mogul. He brought a new level of flash and extravagance to the genre, influencing a generation of artists. His business acumen is undeniable. From music to fashion to television, Diddy built an empire. He proved that hip-hop could extend beyond the music, that it could be a platform for entrepreneurship and cultural influence. Success doesn't come without its share of controversies. Throughout his career, Diddy has faced legal battles and public scrutiny. From nightclub altercations to accusations of business misconduct, his name has been splashed across headlines for both positive and negative reasons. Most recently, on September 16, 2024, a grand jury indicted Diddy on charges related to financial improprieties. The details remain sealed, but the news sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. These allegations, if proven true, could tarnish his legacy and have serious consequences. As Diddy's legal troubles unfold, the world watches and waits. Will he be able to weather this storm? Only time will tell what the outcome will be. One thing is certain. Diddy's story is far from over. He's a fighter, a survivor. He's reinvented himself time and time again. Whether he emerges from this latest challenge unscathed or faces the consequences of his actions, Diddy's impact on hip-hop and popular culture is undeniable. His legacy, for better or worse, is forever intertwined with the rise of Bad Boy Records and the evolution of hip-hop itself.